Is there a link between depression and pathological gaming? And are gamers more likely to become depressed? Dr. Douglas Gentile of Iowa State University and a handful of other researchers performed a study called Pathological Video Game Use Among Youths. The study was longitudinal and took place over 2 years. The gaming habits of school children in Singapore was assessed to determine if what they refer to as pathological gaming has an impact on the participants' lives and mental health. Gentile came to the conclusion that there was, in fact, a significant correlation between heavy gaming and symptoms of depression. As the old adage goes, correlation is not causation. Gentile stated that, "I was expecting to find that depression led to gaming, but we found the opposite in that study. As you get more depressed, you retreat more into games, which doesn't help because it doesn't actually solve the problem. This, in turn, causes your depression to get worse, so you play more games and it thus becomes a negative spiral. This means that people who already have depression may be using gaming as a way of coping with these symptoms, and that gaming is not the cause of depression." Daniel Lowton, a PhD, created a similar study assessing coping styles of individuals. Lowton defines coping as constantly changing cognitive and behavioral effort to manage specific external and/or internal demands that are appraised as taxing or exceeding the resources of the person. That simply means the way in which someone deals with stress. Lowton's study found that the link between a person's gaming habits and his or her mental health is bridged by that person's individual coping style. Lowton found that if the individual is working to solve their depression outside of the world of gaming, then gaming habits probably won't negatively impact his life, even if he does what others might consider to be an excessive amount of gaming. If a person tends to withdraw, on the other hand, while spending roughly the same time playing games, then he is more likely to become what Gentile states as a pathological gamer, whilst also resulting in overall poorer mental health. Gentile found that heavy gamers, at least in adolescent studies, statistically are likely to be pathological in their behaviour. However, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the average gamer is not an adolescent, and is rather around 32 years of age. This could mean that adults are, on average, more likely to be pathological gamers than teenagers. But maybe this isn't the cause. There must be other extraneous variables involved. Perhaps in our modern digitized environment, people simply do not have friends. Howard Ryan Gold, in the Virtual Community 1994, writes exactly that. "In the traditional community, we search through our pools of neighbors and professional colleagues, of acquaintances and acquaintances of acquaintances, in order to find people who share our values and interests. We exchange information about one another, disclose and discuss our mutual interests, and sometimes, only sometimes, we become friends. In a virtual community, we can go directly to the place where our favorite subjects are being discussed, then get acquainted with people who share our passions or who use words in a way we find attractive. Your chances of making friends are magnified by orders of magnitude over the old methods of finding a peer group. In other words, gaming communities provide a vehicle for people to quickly find like-minded others, without having to sift through pools of acquaintances. Online games remove our physical identities, and all the traumas and inhibitions that come with it. Everybody starts equal. Everyone is judged on their contribution, and what you input is what you are. It makes sense that in an overly superficial world, in which identity is at least partly due to the effects of genetics and environment, a space in which identity can be tightly controlled is very appealing. But that's just speculation. The comedy web series The Guild illustrates exactly this kind of community, where age, appearance, and real-world successes have no bearing on their relationships within the clan, all of which being factors that would play an enormous role in traditional communities. In this way, and in the absence of physical distractions, similar individuals can find each other without social stigma. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more psychology of games.